Disneyland is your land.
Come seek an adventure at the old pirates, eh?
Made the jump to light speed.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Welcome to the Disneyland Beats Weekend Wrap-Up. I'm Amy.
And I'm TC. Well, we start today with an interesting story. According to recently revealed signage inside Neverland, Bill does indeed suck.
SF Gate ran a story this past weekend reporting on the experience of riding Peter Pan's flight and having the warp lights come on, exposing the magic. The older rides seriously rely on blacklight painting and keep the light levels really low so you don't realize that just beyond the beautifully painted scenery is an exposed and often dingy backstage.
One rider reported that having the lights on revealed loose wires and graffiti in an exposed wooden corner that said, "Bill sucks."
Maybe Bill was a cast member, or maybe a lost boy wrote it about Pirate Bill Jukes.
Bob Iger announced recently that the Platinum Passport, a season pass you used to be able to get that would work for both Disneyland and Walt Disney World, will not return. It was really popular because if you lived near one of the two parks and visited often, it would kind of pay for itself before you even made it across the continent to the other park.
There was also a round of firings at Disney, with many of them being executives. One big name to go was Ike Permuter, a longtime Marvel executive who stood in the way of films like Black Panther and Captain Marvel, citing excessive costs. More firings are expected.
We're certainly fine with a few less executives. The salaries of some Disney executives pay upwards of 6 figures a day, many times more than the wonderful cast members you interact with at the parks, or you or me.
Star Wars has announced they'll make episodes 10, 11, and 12, continuing the story of Jedi Rey Skywalker. Honestly, it's a bit of a relief to know they're not going to simply ignore the last 3 movies as rumors have been suggesting.
And hopefully that will result in some more Rey meet and greets going on in Galaxy's Edge again.
And if you want to eat like Rey, now you can. Over at the blue and green milk stands, you can order up a Polystarch Puffbread just like Rey would eat after a tough day of scavenging.
A fun money-saving TikTok hack went viral with a guest bringing in a large bag of sweet Hawaiian rolls and buying a single giant turkey leg from Edelweiss Snacks.
With that one turkey leg, he was able to make enough sandwiches to feed his entire family. And the sweet rolls are a good fit with the ham-tasting turkey legs.
A guest who attended the 1955 opening day of Disneyland returned this last week on her 100th birthday to celebrate. She had a great day, and it was heartwarming and inspiring to see.
Disneyland After Dark Throwback Nite after-hours events run soon, this April 18th and 20th. The after-hour events promise to deck out the parks as if it was the 1950s at Disneyland.
This event highlights opening day attractions, and you can bunny hop and stroll your way around the park, dancing to original rock and roll music from the 1950s. Also be aware, if you're in Disneyland that night but don't have tickets, you're going to have to exit the park at 9 p.m.
Indiana Jones recently went through an extensive refurbishment that added fun new scenes to the ride, but it seems like they might need to add some more queue lighting.
Plastic pushable pop-up lights were spotted on the Indiana Jones extended queue, lighting up some of the darker spots. They were hastily zip-tied on. It may be possible that someone had an accident or suffered an injury somewhere in the darkness. We are sure a more permanent solution will be installed.
The crowds this past week and in the previous few weeks have shown that Disneyland off-season gets shorter and shorter every year. It seems like the spring break crowds came early this time around.
No longer are there months or weeks of lower crowds that you could choose from, but rather just some very specific days.
Katan visited Galaxy's Edge this past week. The new central character of The Mandalorian came to Batuu. Well, at least legendary space actor Katie Sackhoff, who plays Bo-Katan, did. Looks like she had a great time.
Super Mario Bros. Is tops at box office at the moment, and we're excited to see Sony's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse coming. But otherwise, it looks like Disney is going to rule the box office this spring and summer. New Pixar, Disney Animation, Disney Live Action, and Marvel blockbusters will hit the cinema this summer, and they all look amazing.
We close out the weekend update this week with the refurbishment calendar. It's pretty much the same as last week. DCA has the Silly Symphony Swings down, and Disneyland has Big Thunder down until the 14th, with it reopening Saturday.
Looking a bit further ahead, Matterhorn bobsleds will close next week on the 17th for an undetermined amount of time for maintenance. Could be a few days, could be a few weeks.
Of course, the Adventureland Treehouse and the restaurant Tiana's Palace are still under construction.
We just put out a video on what's happening at Downtown Disney with all of its major construction. Make sure you check it out.
Thanks so much for joining us for the Disneyland Beat Weekend Update. May the light in the firehouse window always shine brightly.
And may your dreams always come true.
See you real soon, Mouseketeers.